What if the reason your blood sugar isn't improving has nothing to do with what you're missing, and everything to do with what you keep doing? Every day, millions of people over 50 follow advice to eat better, move more, and take their medications. But many still see their glucose levels creeping up, their energy crashing after meals, and their health slipping out of their hands. The truth is, it's not always about adding more. It's about learning what to stop. In this video, we're going to uncover the most common habits, foods, and behaviors that silently sabotage blood sugar control. Some of them might seem harmless. Others might even be things you've been told are healthy. But together, they're working against your progress and keeping your blood sugar stuck in the danger zone. If you're over 50 and trying to lower your blood sugar naturally, this could be the most important list you ever hear. Because once you know what to avoid, everything else becomes easier. Your meals work better, your body responds faster, and your confidence starts to return. So stick with us as we reveal 7 habits and hidden mistakes that may be holding you back. And most importantly, how to break free from them. Let us know in the comments which one surprised you most. And if you find this helpful, like the video and subscribe to the Active Healthcare channel. We've got your back, one smart step at a time. Why avoidance is just as powerful as action. When it comes to managing blood sugar, most of the focus is on what to add. More vegetables, more exercise, more medications. But what often gets overlooked is the quiet power of removing the right things. In fact, avoidance can be just as powerful, if not more than action. Think of your body like a finely tuned machine. You can add the best fuel in the world, but if there's a leak in the system or the wrong oil in the engine, things still won't run right. The same is true for blood sugar. You might be eating healthy meals, walking every day, and taking your supplements. But if you're unknowingly making a few key mistakes, drinking the wrong beverages, eating at the wrong time, or relying too heavily on meds, those positive actions can get canceled out. For people over 50, this is especially important. As the body becomes more sensitive to stress, inflammation, and insulin resistance, small habits can have a big impact. And what you don't do becomes just as important as what you do. That's why this video isn't just a warning, it's a guide to help you understand the hidden ways you may be working against your own progress. When you start avoiding these habits, everything else you're doing will start working better. So as we walk through each of the 7 most common mistakes, keep an open mind. Some of these may surprise you. Others might confirm something you've suspected, but all of them are fixable. And none of them require perfection, just awareness and steady change. Next up, let's start with one of the biggest culprits that hides in plain sight. What's in your glass? Mistake number 1, drinking the wrong beverages. One of the most common and sneakiest ways to sabotage your blood sugar is through what you drink. Many people focus so much on food that they completely overlook the impact of their beverages. But the truth is, what's in your glass can spike your glucose just as fast, sometimes even faster than what's on your plate. Sugary drinks are the obvious culprits. Sodas, sweetened juices, energy drinks, and fancy coffee shop lattes all deliver a rapid rush of sugar that hits your bloodstream within minutes. This causes your glucose to surge, forces your pancreas to pump out more insulin, and sets you up for a crash soon after. And for someone with insulin resistance, that crash is often followed by more cravings, more hunger, and more frustration. But the problem doesn't stop with sugary drinks. Even so-called healthy options like fruit smoothies, flavored waters, or store-bought green juices can pack in more sugar than a candy bar. They may look wholesome on the label, but many are loaded with concentrated fruit sugars, hidden sweeteners, or syrups that go straight to the bloodstream. And then there's alcohol. For people over 50, alcohol can interfere with blood sugar in complex ways. While it might lower glucose in the short term, it often leads to rebounds, disrupted sleep, and increased insulin resistance over time. Even moderate drinking can derail your progress if you're not careful. The fix is simple but powerful. Replace sugary or processed drinks with water, herbal teas, or infused water with lemon, cucumber, or cinnamon. These keep you hydrated, support digestion, and help stabilize glucose naturally. And if you need a treat, make it homemade so you can control what goes in. Changing your drinks might seem like a small shift, but it can have a major ripple effect on your blood sugar, your energy, and even your weight. It's a perfect example of how avoiding the wrong thing can be just as transformative as adding the right one. Up next, let's talk about timing, specifically, the damage done by skipping meals or eating too late. Mistake number 2, skipping meals or eating late. It might seem logical to skip a meal here and there, especially if you're trying to lose weight or reduce your calorie intake. But when it comes to blood sugar, skipping meals or eating them too late can actually make things worse. When you go for long stretches without eating, your body starts to feel stressed. It's not just mental stress, it's physical too. Your blood sugar can drop too low, prompting your liver to release stored glucose into the bloodstream. This sudden spike can feel like nervous energy, irritability, or lightheadedness. And when you finally do eat, your body tends to overreact, absorbing sugar more aggressively than usual, which can lead to an even higher spike than if you had eaten consistently in the first place. For people over 50, this roller coaster is even more dramatic. As insulin sensitivity declines with age, the body doesn't respond as smoothly to swings in blood sugar. Irregular eating patterns only make this worse. Skipping breakfast or delaying meals until late at night keeps your metabolism on edge and disrupts your natural hormone rhythms. Eating late, especially close to bedtime, is another trap. Your body digests more slowly at night, and your cells are less responsive to insulin in the evening. That means any food you eat late is more likely to linger in your bloodstream, raising your glucose and interfering with sleep. And poor sleep, in turn, worsens insulin resistance the next day. A vicious cycle that's hard to break. The solution is balance and timing. Eat consistent meals spaced throughout the day, ideally with a balance of protein, fiber, and healthy fats. And aim to finish your last meal at least 2 to 3 hours before going to bed. This gives your body the best chance to regulate glucose and recover overnight. By simply eating at the right times and avoiding those long gaps or late-night snacks, you give your blood sugar a smoother, more stable foundation. Coming up, let's look at a few foods that sound healthy, but can silently sabotage your glucose levels. Mistake number 3. Healthy foods that spike blood sugar. One of the most frustrating things about managing blood sugar is doing your best, eating what you think are healthy foods, only to see your glucose numbers shoot up anyway. The problem? Some foods wear a healthy disguise, but act more like sugar bombs once they're inside your body. Take breakfast cereals, for example. Even the ones labeled whole grain or fortified with vitamins can cause a sharp blood sugar spike. Many are packed with added sugars or refined carbohydrates that digest quickly, sending glucose surging through your bloodstream. Pair that with low protein and no healthy fat, and you're left with a meal that gives you energy for an hour, then leaves you craving more. Granola is another common trap. Marketed as a wholesome but fiber-rich snack, most granolas are high in sugar, oil, and calories. And because it's crunchy and delicious, it's easy to overeat without realizing just how much sugar you're consuming. The same goes for store-bought protein bars, smoothies, fruit yogurts, and even dried fruit. They look healthy on the outside, but inside, they're often full of ingredients that raise blood sugar fast and keep it elevated for hours. Even whole fruits can be tricky if you're not careful. While fruit is nutritious, large portions of high-sugar fruits like bananas, grapes, or mangoes can cause significant spikes, especially when eaten alone without protein or fat to slow digestion. The key isn't to avoid all these foods, it's to understand how they affect your body and make smart adjustments. Choose low glycemic options, read labels carefully, and always pair carbs with fiber, protein, or healthy fat to keep digestion steady. Swap sugary yogurt for plain Greek yogurt with a few berries. Trade boxed cereal for steel-cut oats with nuts. Or make your own smoothies at home so you know exactly what's inside. By avoiding these hidden traps, you not only protect your blood sugar, you regain confidence in your choices. And that's a win that goes far beyond the plate. Next, we'll explore a factor that has nothing to do with food, but everything to do with your glucose. Let's talk about stress and sleep. Mistake number 4, ignoring stress and poor sleep. When most people think about blood sugar, they think about food. But two of the most powerful forces that affect your glucose levels have nothing to do with what's on your plate. They are stress and sleep, and ignoring them can quietly sabotage all your best efforts. Let's start with stress. When you're under stress, whether it's emotional tension, financial worry, or even the pressure of a busy day, your body responds by releasing stress hormones like cortisol and adrenaline. These hormones are designed to help you in a crisis, but they also trigger the liver to release glucose into the bloodstream. This is your body's way of preparing for a fight or flight response. The problem is, most modern stress isn't physical danger. It's mental overload, and the blood sugar spike comes anyway, even when no food is involved. Chronic stress keeps your glucose levels elevated and your insulin response out of sync. It also leads to emotional eating, poor food choices, and cravings, especially for sugar and carbs. It's a vicious loop, and the more it continues, the harder it becomes to manage your numbers. Now add poor sleep to the mix, and things get worse. Even one night of bad sleep can make your cells more resistant to insulin the next day. It raises hunger hormones, lowers satiety signals, and increases cravings. Over time, poor sleep becomes a hidden trigger for weight gain, fatigue, and erratic blood sugar swings. If you're over 50, your body is already more sensitive to hormonal changes. That means managing stress and prioritizing quality sleep isn't just good advice. It's essential for blood sugar balance. The good news is that small changes make a big difference. A short daily walk, a few minutes of deep breathing, or a relaxing herbal tea before bed can reset your system. Creating a consistent bedtime, reducing screen time in the evening, and making your room cool and dark can help your sleep quality improve night by night. When you take care of your nervous system, your glucose levels often follow. Coming up next, we'll shift from rest to movement and explore what happens when we stay too still after meals. Mistake number 5, lack of movement after meals. One of the simplest yet most overlooked habits for managing blood sugar is what you do or don't do right after you eat. Many people finish a meal and then sit down to watch TV, scroll on their phone, or take a nap. It feels natural, especially after a long day, but staying still after eating can quietly cause your blood sugar to rise higher and stay elevated longer than it needs to. Here's why. When you sit or lie down after a meal, your body has to work harder to move glucose from your bloodstream into your cells. Without movement, your muscles don't ask for fuel, and that means more sugar stays circulating in your blood. For people with insulin resistance, this effect is even more pronounced. Your body simply isn't responding efficiently, and the result is a sharper, longer-lasting glucose spike. But there's a simple fix, and it doesn't require intense exercise. Just 10 to 15 minutes of light movement after meals can make a huge difference. A slow walk around the house, gentle stretching, or even doing the dishes can help your muscles absorb sugar more effectively, reduce insulin spikes, and smooth out your blood sugar curve. Research backs this up. Studies have shown that people who walk after meals, even at a casual pace, have significantly lower blood sugar levels compared to those who remain seated. And this benefit is especially noticeable after dinner, when metabolism tends to slow down naturally. Movement also supports digestion, prevents bloating, and can help reduce cravings later in the evening. It's a win across the board. The key is to build it into your routine. Instead of thinking of it as exercise, treat it as a calming ritual, a way to transition from eating to relaxing while still taking care of your body. No need to sweat, just move. Next, let's talk about something often missing from the plate, but vital for stable blood sugar: fiber. Mistake number 6, eating too little fiber. When people think about what to eat for better blood sugar, they often focus on cutting out sugar or carbs, but just as important as what you remove is what you include. And fiber is one of the most powerful tools you can add to your diet. Unfortunately, most people over 50 aren't getting nearly enough of it. And that's a big problem, because fiber plays a critical role in slowing digestion, stabilizing blood sugar, and supporting overall metabolic health. Here's how it works. When you eat foods high in fiber, especially soluble fiber, it forms a gel-like substance in your digestive tract. This gel slows the absorption of sugar into the bloodstream. The result is a much gentler rise in blood glucose after meals, rather than a sharp spike followed by a crash. Fiber also helps improve insulin sensitivity over time, supports gut health, and keeps you feeling fuller longer, reducing cravings and overeating. In fact, increasing your fiber intake is one of the few dietary changes that consistently shows long-term improvements in A1C and fasting glucose. So where do you get this blood sugar-friendly fiber? Some of the best sources include leafy greens, broccoli, chia seeds, flax seeds, lentils, black beans, oats, almonds, and berries. Whole foods like these deliver not just fiber, but also antioxidants, vitamins, and minerals that work together to support glucose balance. It's not about eating piles of vegetables all day. It's about being intentional. Add ground flax to your morning oats or smoothie. Toss chia seeds into yogurt. Snack on raw almonds or roasted chickpeas. These small additions throughout the day can dramatically change how your body responds to meals. And remember, fiber works best when paired with water. So as you add more fiber to your plate, make sure to stay hydrated to keep your digestion running smoothly. In the next section, we'll address a mindset mistake many people fall into, relying too much on medications and forgetting the body's natural power to heal. Mistake number 7. Depending too much on medications alone. One of the most common and most understandable mistakes people make when managing high blood sugar is putting all their trust in medication alone. It's easy to do. Your doctor prescribes a pill or insulin, and it feels like the solution is in place. You take it faithfully, expecting it to fix the problem. But over time, you notice something. Your numbers aren't improving like they used to. Your dosage keeps going up, and your body doesn't feel any better. That's because medication alone isn't designed to solve the root of the issue. It manages the symptoms, but it doesn't reverse what caused the imbalance in the first place. And the longer you rely solely on pills, the more you may miss the opportunity to heal through lifestyle. The food you eat, the stress you carry, the sleep you get, and the movement you build into your day. There's absolutely nothing wrong with using medication. For many, it's necessary. But when it becomes the only tool in the toolbox, it limits your results. Your body has the ability to respond to real food, real habits, and real change. And when those foundations are in place, medication becomes more effective and sometimes even less necessary. People over 50 often feel like it's too late to turn things around naturally. But it's not. In fact, this is the perfect time. With just a few focused shifts, you can often see improvements in your energy, your weight, and your glucose levels, sometimes within days. And those small wins build momentum. The goal isn't to throw away your medications. The goal is to stop depending on them as the only strategy. Your choices matter. Your habits matter. And they have more power than any prescription when it comes to long-term blood sugar stability. Now that we've uncovered these 7 hidden mistakes, let's talk about how to shift from awareness into action and how to do it one step at a time without overwhelm. How to reverse these habits, step by step. Learning what to avoid is a powerful first step, but real change happens when you begin replacing those habits with better ones, slowly and steadily. If you've recognized yourself in any of the mistakes we've talked about, don't worry. This isn't about guilt, it's about growth. And the good news is that small adjustments can lead to big results when it comes to lowering blood sugar naturally. Start with awareness. Pick one area that stood out to you. Maybe it's drinking fewer sugary beverages or adding more fiber to your meals. Don't try to change everything at once. Focus on one habit for a few days or a week. Let it settle into your routine. Once that feels normal, move on to the next. This layered approach helps create lasting habits rather than quick fixes. If you've been skipping meals or eating too late, try setting simple reminders to eat at consistent times. If movement after meals is new to you, start with 5 minutes of gentle walking right after dinner. It doesn't have to be perfect, it just has to be consistent. For stress and sleep, even a few minutes of daily breathing exercises, turning off screens an hour before bed, or drinking a calming tea can begin to shift your nervous system into a healthier rhythm. As for food, read labels more closely, especially on healthy items. Choose whole, unprocessed ingredients when you can. Swap refined grains for whole ones. Add in more leafy greens, nuts, seeds, and legumes. These fiber-rich choices naturally support your glucose levels without needing perfection. And if you're on medications, don't make any changes without guidance. But use this new awareness to work with your doctor, not just rely on the prescription. Share what habits you're changing. Many people are able to reduce their dosages or avoid further medications by combining smart choices with proper care. Your body is incredibly adaptive. It's not too late to improve how it functions. The more you remove the things that disrupt balance and add the things that support it, the more your energy, clarity, and glucose stability will improve. In the final section, we'll bring all of this together and give you one more encouraging reminder. Your health is in your hands, and every small step counts. When it comes to managing blood sugar, it's easy to feel overwhelmed by everything you're told to do. Eat this, avoid that, move more, stress less. It can start to feel like a full-time job. But the truth is, it's not about doing everything perfectly. It's about understanding what's quietly working against you and choosing, one step at a time, to let those habits go. The mistakes we've talked about today aren't signs of failure. They're common patterns shaped by years of routine, marketing, and confusion. And now that you see them clearly, you have the power to change them. Not overnight, not with pressure, but with small, steady actions that build into something stronger over time. Remember, your body is always trying to return to balance. When you support it with better timing, cleaner ingredients, consistent movement, and restful sleep, it responds, often more quickly than you'd expect. So take a breath. Pick one habit to shift this week. Whether it's drinking less sugar, walking after dinner, or being more mindful about your meals, let that be your starting point, and keep going. You are not stuck, you are not too old, and you are absolutely not alone. If this video helped you, please give it a thumbs up and share it with someone who needs this message. Drop a comment below to let us know what habit you're working on first. And if you haven't yet, make sure to subscribe to the Active Health Care channel so you never miss a chance to grow stronger and healthier, one smart choice at a time. You have more power than you think, and it starts with what you stop doing, starting today.